Welcome to Royal Secrets. An updated account of what transpired on Meghan's cancelled flight to Scotland. It was an error. When physicians said Queen Elizabeth II was being closely monitored, senior royals rushed to be with her, including Prince William, Edward, Earl of Wessex, and Prince Andrew. According to reports, the Duke of Sussex missed a flight to Scotland. As top royals rushed to be by the Queen's side before she passed away, a new rumour has surfaced after the Duke of Sussex travelled alone to Scotland. Despite expectations, Harry did not accompany his wife Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, on their trip. The Duke was not aboard the RAF flight from London to Aberdeen that was carrying Sophie, Countess of Wessex, William, Andrew, and Edward. According to a source, the Sun, after being informed by King Charles III that taking Meghan to Scotland was inappropriate, Harry missed the flight. They stated, Harry missed the flight because he was too busy trying to bring Meghan to Balmoral and rowing with his family. At 6:30 p.m. on September 8, Harry's separate flight landed in Aberdeen, 5 minutes after the announcement of the death of Queen Elizabeth II. The Telegraph was told by a second source that everything was an error. The source, who is acquainted with the events of the day, asserted, it was merely an error. It wasn't intended to offend or cause offense. Simply said, the Sussexes were going to follow protocol at all times. According to reports, it was agreed that Harry and Meghan would go together, much as they would have done if they had flown from their US residence to the UK in the case of the Queen's passing. Following the news of the monarch's ailing health, a spokeswoman for the pair initially stated that Harry and Meghan will fly to Balmoral to be with the Queen. At 12:32 p.m. on September 8, Buckingham Palace released a statement expressing concern for the Queen's health. The Queen was reportedly at ease, and royal doctors had advised that she continue receiving care. But it later became apparent that Harry would travel alone as spouses, including the Duchess of Cambridge, decided against visiting Scotland. Harry was flown to Aberdeen by a private plane, while Meghan stayed at the couple's Frogmore residence in Windsor. When word of the Queen's poor health reached the future king, the Prince of Wales, and the second in line to the throne, the Duke of Cambridge, they immediately freed up their schedules to rush to her Highlands residence. Just before 3:30 p.m., an RAF jet carrying the Duke of Cambridge, Andrew, Edward, and Sophie touched down in Aberdeen. Harry came on the more expensive, later flight from Luton. Harry and Meghan are now left with Charles as king and head of the firm, following the death of the Queen, with William promoted to the crucial position of heir presumptive. While Harry and Meghan seems to have spent time cultivating their connection with the Queen, they have had issues with King Charles and Prince William. Following his first face-to-face encounter with the Queen in 2 years in April, Harry told the US network NBC he was making sure she was protected and had the proper people around her. He dodged a question about if he missed his father and brother after only spending 15 minutes with Charles during his brief stay in the UK. Harry expressed his disappointment in his father and the a lot of hurt that's happened in an interview with Oprah Winfrey from the previous year. He claimed that as the news of his and Meghan's resignation as working royals approached, his father stopped returning his calls. Meghan claimed that the Duchess of Cambridge had made her cry in the days leading up to her wedding, and the palace had failed to deny rumors that it had been the other way around, in a move that William is likely to have found offensive. Harry revealed his conflict with William in 2019 when he told an ITV documentary team that he and his brother were on different roads and had good and bad days. He continued by saying that while he loved his brother, their connection was space at the moment, adding that he hoped that all will get better with time. After the passing of the Queen, William did, however, extend an invitation to Harry and Meghan to accompany him and Kate on a walkabout outside Windsor Castle. King Charles III made a big gesture towards the Sussexes by mentioning Harry and Meghan in his first speech as king and expressing his affection for them. I want to also convey my love for Harry and Meghan as they continue to build their life overseas, the king added in a sad statement to them. In another news, Prince Harry's explosive book is coming out just as King Charles III and Camilla were photographed in Scotland. At Berkeley on the Balmoral estate, the king and queen consort are staying. A chapel close to Balmoral has seen King Charles and Camilla arrive. The secluded royal house in the Scottish Highlands is not far from Crathy Kirk, where the King and Queen consort were seen being driven. On the final day of the late Queen's royal mourning, Charles and Camilla donned black. On the chilly morning in September, the Queen consort was sitting in the rear of the automobile with a blanket covering her legs. The incident occurs while Charles is at his Berkeley home on the Balmoral estate. Following a busy schedule in preparation for the late Queen's funeral, he is anticipated to stay there for at least another week. It comes amid claims that Harry is frantically attempting to make last-minute modifications to his autobiography, which was scheduled to be published this year. The publishers paid $20 million up front because they knew whatever was written would be tremendous for sales and visibility throughout the world, a source told The Sun on Sunday. However, the first manuscript they were given was disappointing since it was a touch too sentimental and concentrated way too much on mental health issues.